And we're back. Starting soon with this week's edition of Bar Comedy USA News. I got to check the audio, make sure you'll actually be able to hear Double T this time. I'm glad we got the camera working again. I'm going to give him a call, and hang on, we'll be starting soon.
What was I gonna say? Rockford's home for Classic Rock 96.7, The Eagle. Good morning, it's Double T. It's time for Bar Comedy USA News with Dog. Dog, what's going on this morning?
Well, good morning, Double T. I am just stoked and excited and totally hyped up for the World Series of Comedy, which we've been talking about over the last few weeks, and that happens this Sunday. Starting September 22nd, we've got 18 shows that run all the way through the 28th. And Double T, there's going to be hundreds of comedians in this thing.
Yeah, I mean, if you're in that, it's got to be hard to stand out from the crowd with so many great comedians there, because you didn't get there because you weren't good. You got there because you got some skills and you know what you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. And Double T, you know, we talked last week. I'm hosting the midnight show on Wednesday. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited for that. That's at the LA Comedy Club at the Strat. If anybody's going to be in Las Vegas, come see Dog host the headline midnight show. But, you know, Double T, what I'm most excited about is a lot of people are like, hey, they're looking for the next big thing in comedy. And what I'm looking for is the next big thing in bar comedy.
Yes. Yes, I love it, because you can't, not just anybody can hit the road and be part of the bar comedy scene and be a part of the Pub and Grub Comedy Tour. It takes a special comedian to be able to handle those difficult, at times, crowds.
That's right. You need to be more than just a guy who can tell a few jokes.
Yeah, you gotta have a strong backbone and thick skin too.
Yes. You need to be someone who can turn drunk hecklers into loyal fans.
Exactly.
Yeah, you need to be the guy who can make the guy who's been at the bar since 2 p.m. You need to be able to make that guy stop staring at the TV long enough in order to laugh.
And that's not easy.
No, not at all. It's like you said. You need someone who's been in the trenches. You know, I would say a headliner for a bar comedy show not only knows their way around the stage and a microphone, but also how to handle a sticky floor.
Well, you got to have the stomach to eat that, road food too all the time.
You know, that's a good point, because let me tell you something, Double T. I know from experience how difficult it can be when you're trying to handle a stomach full of draft beer and 4 nights worth of chicken wings.
And you really got to build up your tolerance too, because people are going to be sending you up drinks during the show, right?
They do. You know, one point when I was out there on the road doing 150 of these things a year, I was probably about 3 shades away from becoming a human liver.
Yeah.
It's not the Netflix special crowd, you know.
No, not at all. Not at all.
You know, and so that's why it doesn't matter if you have fancy headshots. The perfect polished smile doesn't mean a thing if you can't win over the guy wearing a, you know, free mustache ride shirt in the front row.
You got me with that one. That was that was good. I like that guy. That guy is definitely tough to win over. But to be able to get in front of them as they perform and see them in person, because a lot of times you probably don't get that opportunity to be in front of them. Maybe you're watching some video or something, but this is a live performance of these comedians, and to see, all right, is this a bar comedy type of person?
That's right. And so after you see their set, you know, there's also beyond what you see on stage. So we also get the opportunity. There's an industry day where it's basically like a job fair for a comedian. So I'm going to be at that, and that's where you get to do the shake and howdy, the meet and greet. And one thing I'm looking for, T, it's beyond just what you do on stage. It's also the personality and the ability to fit in. So for one thing I'm looking for is they have to be missing at least one tooth, but not in the front.
Yeah, I mean, that's good. It shows that they're, you know, like a regular person. You know, they're not just a pretty face coming out and trying to make people laugh, right?
That's right. I mean, you kind of want that headliner that almost has a death wish, you know? They got to have a thick skin. They got to have a quick wit. They got to be able to handle a packed bar of rowdy locals and still think this is going to be fun.
It is Bar Comedy USA News with Jared Dog. Tell everybody about the Pub and Grub Comedy Tour.
Absolutely. Head on over to barcomictix.com because we've got a lot happening this fall. As a matter of fact, the flagship venue for the Pub and Grub Comedy Tour, Boxcars over in Clinton, Wisconsin, is going to be kicking back up in November. And so go to barcomictix.com and you can see, and for yourself, some of these headliners that are the superstars of Bar Comedy USA.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
You too, Double T. Talk to you next week with a full report on everything that happened here in Las Vegas.
Looking forward to it. It's Rockford's home for Classic Rock, 96.7 The Eagle. Cool, man.
All right.
So when people you're at this, you do this meet and greet thing and you get to industry day or whatever, do comedians bring resumes? Like, what do they do? Because, like, if you're going to a job fair, you bring a resume. What is a comedian?
Oh, sure. So, it's like anything. You have your EPK. Now that's the electronic press kit. Back in my day, it was just a press kit. You actually had to have your folder and all your headshots and your bio and things like that in there. The comedians will have business cards or, their bumper stickers or their gimmicks and things like that may have a QR code or their website. And then, really, it's just like you said on the air, where on stage you have to stand out. You kind of got to stand out in your promo as well.
Okay.
I
never thought about that before until we started talking. Like, we're finishing up. I'm like, oh man, I wonder what they bring. the press kit is, I figured that.
Yeah.
But think about all the money you spent on printing stuff out back in the day.
And that pales in comparison to the amount of money I spent on dubbing and shipping VHS tapes.
Oh yeah.
That were actually probably used as a booker's doorstop.
Yeah, we used to joke. Stone used to joke that when we ran out of cassette, he would just put an ad in the trades that he needed somebody, and then people would send their air checks on cassette.
And now you got free tapes.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
I had to learn the trick of popping that tab out. So at least you're going to have to go through the trouble of putting some Scotch tape over that thing.
Exactly. That's awesome. Well, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you too, Double T. I'll talk to you next week.
All right, we'll talk. Yep.
All right, that was Double T. He's always fun to talk to. And head on over to VIPTicketHub.com. The I and the P should be capitalized there. VIPTicketHub.com for the World Series of Comedy. The main event, September 22nd through the 28th. And then I'll be back next week with more Bar Comedy USA news with Double T.